Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another video for the YouTube channel, and for this occasion I'm not going to be doing an interview as I usually do by this point for the channel. I'm going to be doing a different video, a content video, but more so a video specifically talking about whatever's happening within the Valorant scene, be it in the competitive or outside of the competitive spectrum. And yeah, for this occasion I'll be talking about MIBR, and there's been a lot of noise happening within this team in recent hours as of the time of the recording. Looking at the squad, heading into 2023. I mean, sure, they finished in the bottom specter or in the basement of the 2023 VCT Americas season, but of course, there's no other way for one to do than to look up when one is in the basement. And in doing so, MIBR made a few roster switches, of course, taking out Heat, taking out Mariz, adding in Artsine and Mazine for the IGO spot for the ladder. And yeah, with this squad, even so, there was not plenty of expectations surrounding this squad. Sure, they would probably make some noise for a few matches here and there for the entire year, but more so, everybody expected this team to kind of remain in the lower tier aspect of VCT Americas in 2024. But despite all of that, the team started off 2024 well. Of course, finishing second in a group that consisted of NRG, Cloud9, and Furia. A very great performance. Despite the competition that kind of surrounded this squad heading in to kickoff. And from there they went on to the play-in stage, i.e., second round of the competition. They took a series off of G2, but still it wasn't enough for them to qualify for playoffs. They had to be the second team outside of the playoff bubble, watching Sentinels then qualify, win playoffs, and then win Masters Madrid. But we're not talking about Sentinels here. We're talking about MIBR. And yeah, that kind of then sparred a bit of hope for this team to just continue this momentum. There's no other way for this team to there's no way for them to like kind of do well and then kind of regress, right? But unfortunately, as we've seen in this team, in stage one, they kind of did exactly that. They kind of regressed. Not really kind of, they definitely regressed, going 0-5, not even winning a single round, or not even winning a single map. It kind of feels like that way, not winning a single round, but obviously that wasn't the case. Going 0-5, losing to everyone within the Alpha group, and yeah, just not having a very good performance at all, and just then kind of in a way reviving the old form from 2024, but obviously in a bad way. And then just looking over into this trajectory of this MIBR squad. I mean, the most rounds they've ever won in stage one overall, 12. And it came against Cloud9 on the very last match of their group stage. I mean, a pretty disappointing, not really pretty disappointing, a very tough way to go down. And throughout this entire season, I've been talking to a few players from the MIBR squad during this 2024 season, and yeah, I mean, you can kind of check it out on my YouTube channel and just see what kind of went wrong for this team and what kind of roamed within the thoughts of the players and also the coaches. But yeah, not really a good way for them to just continue their momentum and see it just halt. After going winless in stage one, MIBR then decided, okay, you know what? We got to make some changes. We can't just have this team continue to be at the bottom of the league, which I understand. Of course, this is a competition, and if a team doesn't breed results, then of course changes are going to have to be made, whether it is players or coaches. Someone has to go, and in MIBR's case, the first person to go was bzka. Of course, bzka, the champions 2022 winning coach in Loud, was hired to lead the MIBR squad in 2023 and also in 2024. But unfortunately, as a result of going winless in this recent event, they had to let him go and they had to part ways. And yeah, that kind of then put MIBR in a sort of new direction in terms of what they want to do and what kind of things they want to focus on, or what kind of players they want to add for this team to make changes and just kind of revitalize the squad for stage 2. And although not an official move has been made yet, and people are now expecting or looking at what they're going to do during their break from now until the start of stage 2. I mean, there's been reports already made about the issues that the team faced before the 2024 season, and a report was made by a journalist that goes by the name of Bruno Ponvaleri that kind of outlined the things that MIBR made behind the scenes that ultimately led their squad to reach this point. I mean, as it says right here, I mean, going into the English translation, which I mean, sure, it's Google Translate, but we got to do what we got to do with what little resources I have at my disposal. I mean, first content video, I mean, I'm just trying to figure this out. But anyway, there was a point that Bruno made that said that the coaching staff or the managing staff of MIBR's Valor squad did plenty of work to try to figure out a way to field a better squad for 2024. And as it says right here on the highlighted portion of this text, they came up with more than 10 possible lineups. And amidst those lineups, they came up with the kind of budget that was needed to bring in the players for each specific lineup, and also the objectives that they're looking to create and also fulfill from now or from kickoff all the way into champions. And even so, despite making those kinds of moves, the MIBR board, as Bruno then outlines, made it clear right here that, quote, it would not invest heavily in signing players and only approved 2 possible squads. The current one, which was the squad that ultimately finished winless in stage 1, and another option, which was to have at least 3 foreign players into the squad, which would be such a very drastic move for a team whose name is literally made in Brazil, bringing in foreign players, but that's neither here nor there. And so ultimately, that came to a situation where the coaches, the management staff, the people in charge of managing the VCT squad had to build a team at a low cost. And how low? At a very, very low cost. And so they tried out different players, different lineups. They tested out players such as QCK, currently in Loud, xand, which was formerly a part of Double Zero Nation, and then ultimately retired earlier on in 2024. But ultimately, they went with Mazine and Artizine for the 2024 season. In addition to that, and I believe this might be one of the most interesting aspects amidst this report, is the fact that no one in the coaching staff was in favor of keeping 3 players from the 2023 lineup. The team did not perform very well at all in 2023. So, I mean, it makes no sense for anyone to kind of bring the majority of these players back and just try to run it back with there being no kind of semblance of anything to run back to for 2024. But ultimately, that was the journey, the route that was taken for 2024 and such, where we are right now. And another thing right here, fraud was only possible due to the convincing factor of bzka, which basically means fraud wouldn't be in MIBR if it wasn't for bzka. bzka wanted fraud to come in from Loud after leaving Loud and join him. And with bzka out, now fraud is slotted in to the head coaching role, a role that he originally did not want to have. He wanted to work alongside bzka and kind of work together and strategize from there. And so this leaves us in a situation where we have a coach, which originally was not supposed to be a coach, who didn't want to be a coach, who wanted to be an assistant to the person that convinced him to join the team in the first place. And he's in a situation where he has to build a brand new squad, lest they go winless again and just kind of repeat the same results in from stage one to stage two. And it's fair to say that MIBR is not in a favorable position right now. And then shortly after the news or the report that was made by Bruno, Valorant Zone uh, posted another report from their own, whose source said that MIBR used the money received when entering the Valorant Franchise League VCT Americas in 23 to sign two players from another roster within the org itself, them being Drop and Safety of the CS:GO now CS2 squad. And I mean, there's nothing else to say about that. I even said in the tweet right there, in reaction to that, I said it'd be a massive slap in the face if this is actually true and MIBR actually used the money that Riot gave to them to build another squad for another game. I mean, if that is the case, then what kind of consequences does this then make to this MIBR squad? What would Riot do to MIBR? Because, of course, Riot is the one that kind of controls the slots for the teams that are in each of the four VCT partner leagues. And so for them to kind of see that, I mean, one has to wonder whether maybe they'll take them out, maybe replace them, or maybe go another route from there. And yeah, shortly after the report, though, MIBR put up a statement that kind of denied any of these claims that was made in the report by Valorant Zone, saying, quote, MIBR categorically denies the information that it used funds from the Valorant franchise to sign players and benefit another team from the organization itself. This is untrue and biased information. Each of its lines operates with financial autonomy, including Valorant, which operates entirely with the amount received from Riot. Regarding Valorant's competitive for the rest of the season and planning for 2024, more information will be released soon. So basically, MIBR said this is not true. Whatever you're hearing is not true. Just wait for us to give y'all the official information. And yeah, nothing else to add on to that besides that. And as for exactly what it is that MIBR is going to be looking for in terms of new players for the stage 2, I mean, honestly, it'd be fair to say also that it's a pretty difficult market right now in terms of free agents. I mean, you got players such as Pancada and xand, the most sought after Brazilian players right now, free agents. Fair to say that it's been reported also again by Bruno that they're close to joining Fury, and I believe also Raquel Ferreira of My Esports has said that it's basically a done deal, and that these two people will be joining the team for next season. And so that said, with those kinds of players gone out of consideration, then MIBR really does have a difficult situation at hands where they have to scout for new talent, look for different players within the challenger scene, those that are not up to the same level as a Pancada or xand, and just try to build a team with those that are already in the team for stage 2. And I don't know, man. It's going to be hard to say because they have from now until May 27th to kind of lock their rosters and just have to work with what they got for stage 2. If they want any sort of chance to compete for a spot in champions, because right now they are winless. They have no wins in their pockets so far in this regular season. 0 championship points, so that basically puts them in a position where they have to win champs. They had to win champs to at least make it, win champs or finish within the top 3 to have a chance at appearing in Seoul, South Korea. But is that actually going to happen? We'll see. I don't know. MIBR probably doesn't know, but maybe they do know. Or maybe I'm just talking out of my ass regarding the seriousness of the situation that they're in roster-wise. But that said, we're just going to have to see what they do from now until any new information comes out. And so that said, I'm going to wrap up the video right here. Pedro Romero, brand new content video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.